Hello, 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 my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. Today, I come to you in slightly worse quality. The reason being because I'm using my other computer, not a Mac, due to having forgotten my computer in the bedroom where my daughter is currently asleep, where I cannot go. Either way, if you're here, please kind of put a like as always. If you're also here, please say hello so I know that you're here. If you're somebody who constantly attends the lives, definitely make sure that you say hello so I know that you're here because we probably interact a lot. Um, yeah, in addition to that, before we begin, as always, you can find the link to my Patreon private group in the description on this video and in the comments section down below once this live is over. And with that, we're going to start talking about what's going on in the market. Currently, we had the sentiment on the market go basically just, I believe this was like two weeks ago, somewhere around 2 weeks ago, and in roughly a week though, the sentiment went from that XRPs are going to $10 soon, that the structure looks exactly the same, and that this is the year the big boom is coming. After the lawsuit basically finished in favor of XRP holders, and so we basically had this very strong narrative, which was really pushed forward heavily by many popular mm, XRP influencers out there, saying that basic XRP is about to go to $10, and that has suddenly shifted to terrible price targets. Like now we keep seeing something like 8,000, 5,000, $2,000 Bitcoin, and it is quite amusing, which is exactly why we've been talking about ignoring the noise and ignoring the sentiment out there many, many, many times. If you're on my Patreon, you know how many times I keep saying just ignore it, how many times I keep reiterating just ignore the noise and stick to the plan. Currently, to where we are in the market, we have to look strictly at what's going on TA wise. TA wise, basically, the high low for Bitcoin is holding the roughly 25K area. Uh, the high low in stock indexes are holding, and the market is still holding bullish momentum and structure. With that being said, right, no matter what happens in this market, our job is very simple. As I keep reiterating, we follow what's in the Millionaire spreadsheet, which is our main play, which is where I have roughly 90% of my investment allocated in this market. Is basically my main plan. Is basically what I've been doing for the last two market cycles, and it's what I'm doing in this market cycle. So we do simply what it says in the Millionaire spreadsheet. As I've said in other lives, when we had this very strong narrative that XRP is about to pump to $10, I came on here using some, clickbait titles, yes, to make sure I can lure in more people, to make sure they hear the message and don't get hurt. At 90 cents and 88 cents, I published the Patreon market update, and I came on here, guys, telling you that XRP is not about to pump to $10, that a retrace to the 59 cent to the roughly 51 cent area looks very likely, and I believe that it's going to correct there, which is where we are exactly right now. XRP is at roughly 51 cents, 52 cents, and we find ourselves there instead of pumping slowly to $10, and we're nowhere near $10, especially soon. So I hope you learned the lesson there. Listen again. Listen again to whoever you were listening to out there, because when somebody believes that something is about to happen, they're going to find many reasons out there, be they based on speculation, technical analysis, traditional TA, or some completely new and out there TA that's not traditional, or be it based on, I don't know, institutional adoption or utility, or like some political and financial incoming doom, whatever. Basically, there's so many narratives. When you really want for something to happen, your brain will find a reason for why you believe it's reasonable for it to happen. And that's exactly what happened with the SRP chart. I myself pointed out that, yes, a crucial resistance level was breached, that, yes, the setup looks identical to the setup back in 2017 when XRP pumped very hard. But I reiterated that, speaking of structure, speaking of time frames and what's going on in the markets right now, and when you compare it to what's happened in the past, it makes no sense for XRP to pump to $10 this year now, and it makes no sense for Bitcoin to make new all-time highs. And I still stand by those words. I do not see I don't believe there's anything unreasonable to expect XRP to deliver roughly $10 in a euphoria phase. When everything's pumping left and right and many coins are performing well, I see no reason whatsoever, as long as the SEC doesn't throw more sticks in our wheels, basically, so to speak, as long as they don't create more hurdles in unforeseen circumstances, and exchanges don't delist XRP once again. So as long as basically they changed the relisted or listed XRP now after the lawsuit news. Keep it that way, in euphoria phase hits. I believe that's a reasonable price target because that's exactly what Bitcoin and Ethereum and many other coins did, or did even more in the last cycle. Therefore, I have no problem with people who say that XRP is going to $10, for instance. I believe in the long run, once again, in the long run, when we speak in terms of cycles and think of a bigger picture, that's a reasonable price target. The issue I have with that is that people kept saying that's going to happen soon or that it's going to happen this year or next year. Once again, I do not believe that. I've never believed in that. And I don't believe in huge price increases this year or the next, as my Patreon members know. All that we have to do right now is very quite simple. It was stick to the Millionaire spreadsheet and the plan that's there. The price targets that are there, once they're hit, execute. As the Millionaire spreadsheet says in the beginning, you roughly had about 400 days to put together 10K, or if you can put together 100K or a million. I myself work with much bigger sums than 10K, but basically the percentage equivalent has to be the same. The plan has to be the same. It doesn't matter if it's 10K, 100K, or a million, whatever is basically you're investing with, the plan has to be the same, right? Percentage wise. So we'll just stick to that. Right now, we have, like I reiterated many times, we have great, fantastic entries for Bitcoin and Ethereum and other coins which are much lower. Some of our risky gems in a $99 tier, which are 50 to 100x. I believe that some of them will 50 to 100x. As I mentioned many times, they're very volatile. Some of them pumped like 800% from entry. Others are down like 50% from entry or more, which is perfectly fine because they are volatile assets. They're tiny, small caps or mid caps, and they're much more volatile because they have a lot less capital. And that's exactly why we have a much smaller percentage of our portfolio, not even 10% in these riskier plays. Like I said, more than 90% is in the Millionaire spreadsheet, and that's the main play. And all we have to do is always see whether or not a target has been hit. Whenever a target is hit, usually, and we do get some great entries, it's always usually accompanied by some very, very scary news. So I would not be surprised. Like, for example, I'll give you an example right now what I'm talking about. If you've been a member of mine on Patreon back in the day, and you bought the Millionaire spreadsheet, you know that there was a very strong narrative where people said that Bitcoin is not going to go below $20,000 because in the past, in its history, it never went below its previous all-time high. Yeah. And 20K was the previous all-time high for Bitcoin. And it's true that it never happened before. And I said that's irrelevant. That was a very important narrative. Keep that in mind. And I want to point out that the same people were telling the SRP is about to go to $10 soon and tell you all this stuff, right? When you watch their TA, keep in mind that these same people were saying that Bitcoin is not going to go below 20K for this exact reason, because it never happened before. This is why I stick to percentages and why I don't stick to narratives, because this is a narrative, right? We cannot go below 20K because we never went below a previous all-time. That's a narrative right there. That's why I don't stick to narratives. What did we look at? We look at percentage gain, and we don't need the perfect, like I said, entries and executions. We need a rough estimate and a rough understanding of what's about to happen, right? So, like I said, as always, Bitcoin drops roughly 70, 80, 90%. In accordance with this, percentage gain and loss, Bitcoin is going below 20K. So when it happened, none of our Patreon members were surprised. The entries in the Millionaire spreadsheet were hit and you executed. You know what I mean? So it's very important to be aware of this. It was a huge shakeup for a lot of people out there. A lot of people who believe that this is never going to happen, believed with all their heart because it never happened before, were shocked. They were shocked to see that it happened. You had some of the best TA people out there with hundreds of thousands of followers that were proven wrong. We're talking like hundreds of people on crypto Twitter. So many people were shaken up and they couldn't believe it. For us, it was just a non-event because we knew that it's coming. So where I'm going with this, we have now some amazing entries. All that we have to do is hold those entries and not sell no matter what happens. If the market crashes much further, we only execute in accordance with the Millionaire spreadsheet, right? It is not something that's supposed to surprise us. So basically, if the market didn't nuke much further and crash further, and we did get all the entries and more entries on our Millionaire spreadsheet, of course, as always, we would have once again have a scary narrative. So the narrative out there would be like, just let's prepare mentally. Probably, what would the narrative? What could it be, right? It would probably be something like Binance basically becoming insolvent. I don't know, CZ Binance getting arrested, God forbid. I don't know, Coinbase going down. Let me think. I don't know. crypto going to like a $200 billion market cap, the price of Bitcoin going to something like $5,000, maybe lower, maybe $2,000, right? So basically, the narrative would be probably against it would be accompanied by stocks crashing, and the stocks crashing, it would be that basically there's a strong recession and depression 2.0, and the whole fear factor would be that once again that you should stay away and not buy because this is recession 2.0. You should be scared. Don't forget that this is exactly what was happening when we're buying during the FTX collapse. There was hardcore fear, and you had people calling for 12K Bitcoin, which is nothing wrong with 12K Bitcoin. I believe we can go there. There's no problem with that. Once again, the problem was that they were waiting on the sidelines and not dollar cost averaging after 70, 80, 90% crashes. They were waiting for specific percentage crash, and it never went there. So they missed out on a great entry, which we did not because we don't chase bottoms. But I just want you to be aware of this. It's something to keep in mind, right? Whenever you have amazing entries, right? Amazing entries, they're always accompanied by hardcore, very effective psychological weapons, basically, that are aimed at you. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know where these news narratives come from. I don't know if market makers make them. I don't know if people who print money make them. I don't know if it's something, it's just, if it's just human nature. But what I do know is that whenever we have great and fantastic and amazing entries, we're talking about best buying opportunities in the world. They're always accompanied by hardcore scary narratives. And this time, if we do get these entries, there will not be any different. The narrative will be very scary. It will have you question the millionaire spreadsheet. It will have you question the entries. It will have you question whether or not you should buy here. And it will probably, once again, result in a lot of people not being able to conquer their fear and miss out on great entries. And then we know when the market rebounds and will start bouncing and coins are up 100, 200, 300%, and much more in the euphoria phase. Just like right now, for example, Bitcoin bounced 100%, Ethereum more than that, XRP like 230%. Once again, you had people FOMO buying these pumps because now everything is green. Once again, pumps are accompanied by nice narratives and great news. Turns out that BlackRock is filing for Bitcoin ETF. Turns out that some billionaire was buying Bitcoin. Turns out that this other company owned Bitcoin, and then blah blah blah. For example, the pump we had that happened with XRP recently, XRP lawsuit, right? Fantastic news. And then it was an unsustainable pump, and it fully retraced back to the prices where it was before the fantastic news. The point I'm trying to make is you have to be aware of this stuff because it's very important to make sure that this market does not destroy you psychologically, because if it destroys you psychologically, it's going to destroy you financially. Those two things are very, very correlated, right? Once again, currently we're prepared for both. As I said several times, we're neutral. We're currently neutral. If the market crashes much further, we're going to execute our entries. We're not going to be fearful. We're going to follow the millionaire spreadsheet. We're going to hold our coins. We're going to execute our entries, and we're going to become very bullish when everybody will be basically extremely scared. If the market goes up and we start seeing, we keep seeing higher highs and higher lows, and when we see hard, like big prices, and eventually we'll in the euphoria phase, we're going to become extremely bearish. We're going to start selling, laddering out, and setting trailing take profits for every single coin in our portfolio. And once that take profit is hit, we're going to fully get out of that coin, no matter how wonderful it is, no matter how wonderful the narrative is, no matter how many wonderful price targets we see out there, no matter how many wonderful partnerships and team members they have, we're going to get out because they're all pumps and dumps, every single coin out there. And if you don't believe me, bring up the chart of any coin that's been through a bear market, and you will see that every single coin out there has been down at least 80%. The number one coin in crypto, Bitcoin, was down 78% before it bounced. XRP was down like 85 or 87%. In the last cycle, Bitcoin was down 82 or 84%. XRP was down 97%, 97%, mind you. That's nearly 100 right there, 97%. You had some coins, I believe, was it Doge or ADA? Some of them were down like 99.5%. So, if you don't believe that coins are pumps and dumps, just go check out the charts. Once again, that does not mean, like, the great part about this is that, though, that there are pumps also. So you just have to make sure that you buy after huge crashes without chasing the bottom, and wait, sometimes be in temporary losses, keep dollar cost averaging, wait for the comps to pump, and then start selling, right? And then you have the very important factor is to sell, because once again, they're not just pumps, they're also dumps. All these coins dump. Let's see what you're saying, my friends. Adrian Muslimi, good to see you here. He's saying, hi, Rob. Great catching you live again. Great to see you here, brother. Noini saying, hello, brother. Hi there. Darcy, how you doing? John Hickey, good to see you. Sergio, good to see you. And it's saying, Rob, much love, hope all is well. Hope to be able to go back to Patreon soon. I've had some family issues that has been, excuse me, I've had some family issues that have been preventing me from being in there. Um, much love, brother. I'm sorry to hear that, and I completely understand. I myself have been very busy currently with family affairs, and I completely understand. I completely understand, and I hope that everything is good with you and your family. Thank you for finding the time to join. Guac Girl Luciano, hey there, my friend International Crypto Asset Ninja saying, happy to start the week with your live stream, Rob. Stay awesome, bro. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that beautiful message. Berchini, hello there. G72, first time I've had you speak. He's saying, first time I've heard you speak, but followed you for years on Twitter. You speak very well. G72, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining. My friend, Very Easy Hydroponics Alan is here. How you doing, brother? Hello, everyone. Please kind of put a like while you're here, my friends. We currently have 42 people on this live, so please let's have 42 likes, if you don't mind, please. So yeah, my friends, very important, right? You just saw, once again, I keep talking about these narrative shifts, and it's very important to be psychologically immune to all this stuff. Um, I've said this before, just when we're starting Patreon, right? That we're going to have our entries, and once it's going to come, these entries are going to come, that there are going to be some terrible narratives. The FTX collapse basically already happened. Don't forget what we had during there. We had magazine covers saying that basically crypto is dead. It was compared to wasteless deserts, to asteroids or meteorites hitting the Earth. So basically, a mass extinction event. We had headlines like, "Is this the end of crypto?" We had headlines like, "Is Bitcoin going to?" I forgot what it was. I don't remember that the price, but it was like very, very, very low, something like 2,000 or 500 even dollars. It was something basically horrific. And then we had the FTX scandal everywhere. We had even we had news where Kim Kardashian was being sued for promoting like a scam project in crypto. We had some other celebrity being sued for promoting NFT project. So it really seemed like a terrible time to buy. Now that we know what happened in the future, right? Because now we're like, like 6 or 8 months away from that already, have passed since then. We can see that it was the perfect time to buy, and that all we had to do uh, was ignore these scary narratives. And this is what's going to happen once again if we get our entries. For example, I've mentioned this several times, right? One of the things that we're going to start doing is I'm going to start swing trading XRP, right? We're only going to start swing trading XRP. This is where, like, this is like the wrong mindset that people also have. Some people get really triggered when I say this. Like, it personally really doesn't matter to me whether or not XRP goes there, because I already have my moon bags, and I believe that in the euphoria phase, XRP will pump hard, and I'm going to make very good money either way. All I just have to do is be patient. But, excuse me, while we're waiting, and we're going to be waiting for a while, if roughly 4-year cycles that are slightly lengthening are intact, it's going to, like, the euphoria peak euphoria phase is going to be in 2025, so it's a while. And if 15K Bitcoin doesn't hold, that means basically that a new low has been made, and that means that it took longer for a bottom to come in, which means that once again market cycles are lengthening, which probably means we're going to have to tack out another 2-3 years to the market cycle, right? Currently, there's nothing to suggest that. Currently, everything is holding. Everything has been happening the same way this has been happening with roughly 4-year cycles. But anyway, I've been saying that I'm going to start swing trading XRP in a roughly 5 cent to the 35 cent region, right? Exactly how we're going to do it, we're going to talk about it on Patreon if it happens. And this is the problem that many people have. And then they ask me, so what if it doesn't go there, Rob? You don't swing trade. You can't just force entries uh, simply because you need a trade. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way. If the market goes in that zone, and I believe it's very possible that it can go there. So if it goes there, I'm going to take 30K and I'm going to be trading live 30K to 100K on my Patreon, and I'll be teaching you basically how to swing trade live XRP. And while we do that, why I brought this up, I'll be showing you the narrative. The narrative. We'll be always checking out the narrative once these swing trades are going to be happening. You'll see that when we'll be buying, there'll also be terrible narratives. You'll see that everybody will keep saying that it's going to go lower and lower and lower, and perhaps it will go lower, and it doesn't matter. There's this method that I'm going to show in Patreon, and if these trades hit, explaining to you why it doesn't matter. There's this beautiful pattern out there, basically. So it doesn't matter if it goes lower. It doesn't matter as long as you basically catch those percentage bumps on average. And then once the market bounces, you always see these amazing, nice tweets, like basically people saying, "Oh, XRP pumping back up to 52 cents or something like that." That's where you take profits and you get out. So we're going to be doing that just to make sure, because either way, we're going to be waiting for a while. Let's say 2025, even if the bull run does happen, if market cycles don't lengthen, I want to make sure that we start paying ourselves now, because um, I have done this before and I can do this once again. And I want to do this for my Patreon members. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to take 30K, like I said, turn it into 100K first. And then we're going to take the 100K, and within basically the whole process is going to take around like 2-3 years still. We're going to turn that 100K into like half a mil, if not more. And it's going to be done recorded live, and every single Patreon member is going to be able to do it with me, whichever sum they wish. And I hope that it will teach you something, and it will teach you basically not only to invest but also swing trade. And it will basically, why I love the thought of that is because it's going to put money in your pocket while you're waiting to live life now. Start living a little better life now. Uh, Let's see. So yeah, right now, my friends, like I kept saying in the last live streams, do not force entries. We already have fantastic entries. The reason why we have those fantastic entries is because we were not listening to Moon Boys and buying the dip. We waited for amazing hardcore crashes, dollar cost average after hardcore crashes, and now we're to dollar cost average and have our targets met. We have to wait for more hardcore crashes. So if they come, we're going to follow the plan and buy more. If they don't come, we're not going to buy more. We're just going to ride the bags that we have and sell when it's time to sell. Very easy and straightforward. No reason to complicate matters. No reason to get emotional about anything. We just follow the plan. Everything is going fine. Let's just be patient and let the market do what it does, my friends. Because um, there's no need, for example, there's no need for us to be either bearish or bullish right now. You know what I mean? As long as we just have basically a strategy that works well, and as long as we're patient. Matthew saying, I wish all the influencers were as honest as Rob. Matthew, thank you for that shout out, brother. Thank you. BKB, good morning. How are you doing? My friend Gabonito is here saying, good afternoon, Rob. How are you, brother? Why did you allocate 50% of your portfolio to XRP last cycle, and why is it not worth it to do the same this cycle with regulatory clarity and listings? Well, my friend, because that's one thing that I learned, right? One of the things that I learned is that you should not, like it has shown me this in 2 cycles. It took me 2 cycles to learn that you should not put an overwhelming majority of your portfolio into any coin out there, because you never know what's going to happen with that coin. So it could have been, XRP performed very well, 2000% pump, but what if it had been, I don't know, some coin that only pumped like 400%? XRP didn't even breach its all-time highs, for example, right, in the last cycle, which doesn't mean that he can't do it in this cycle. Anyway, the point I'm going with it. So what if it was a coin that only did 400%, right? What if it was a coin like a Dogecoin that went insane and would have given me insane profits, right? The reason why nobody should do that is because there's no guarantee with what the coin is going to do. We can have so many theories and so many reasons, just like I said in the beginning of this live, for why something will happen just because we want it to happen, right? So you can have technical analysis, utility, news. I mean, you name it. You name it. You'll find whichever reasons you need to find in order for something to be a good investment in your head. But is it factually? We only find that out in the euphoria phase of the cycle, when coins pump before everything crashes hard and dumps 90 to 99%. We only find out then what was a good investment. And what I found out is that the things that you just listed, that basically regulatory clarity and listings, is no 100% guarantee that XRP is going to do exceptionally well. It's one of those things that adds to XRP pumping well, right? So which is why I also said that I believe that my 7 to 13 target is back. Long term, I believe XRP will go there, not soon. Because as long as basically the world doesn't end and crypto survives, I believe that XRP will perform well, because it's back on its exchanges. That means basically there's more liquidity, which that means that basically in the euphoria phase, people have easy access to it. That means that basically when everybody's pressing the buy button and buying everything they possibly can, they're buying XRP too, and there's no reason to stay away from it anymore. That basically means that our chances of having XRP pump hard have increased, right? But there's no guarantee of anything, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen. What if another event happens and we wake up to something like the SEC event, but something that we can't even fathom right now, and you have 50% of your investment in XRP or Bitcoin or whatever, right? For example, let's say you have 50% of your investment in Bitcoin, and basically Bitcoin gets overthrown and toppled by Ethereum and then XRP. I think that this is going to be such a black swan event that many Bitcoiners out there are going to start dumping Bitcoin, and then the price is going to crash very hard, right? Uh, so not a good idea to put like a lot of money just into Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? What if Ethereum, because of all the gas fees, or what if it gets sued by the SEC or God knows what else? Some black swan event happens, and it basically goes down the drain, right? Or with any other coin out there, right? So we really have to make sure that we stick to maths and probabilities. So everything we have to do has to be based on probabilities. We can put, you know, equal amounts of money roughly into blue chips, equal amounts of money roughly into mid caps, and equal amounts of money roughly into small caps, without favoring one coin over another, basically. And that increases our chances. So, for example, I can tell you for sure that in the last cycle, when for example, my probably second favorite coin was BNB, and although I expected it to do 100x because it's literally below $5, I said I believe this coin can go to $500. Never did I think that was going to happen before XRP delivers $7 to $13. You see what I mean? Like I literally did not think that would happen before XRP does that. And XRP only pumped to $1.96, and BNB outperformed my expectations and pumped to like what, like nearly 700, was it like 680, something like that. So um, the point I'm trying to make to answer your question, my friend, is that utility and all other stories that we tell ourselves, right, are no guarantee of what's going to happen in the future. The only basically thing that comes to us close to as a guarantee, and there's no guarantee of anything in speculative markets, but the closest thing we have to that is mathematics and probabilities. That's what I've learned. Alexander Hell is saying, "You're one of the best, Rob. Thank you for all you do, my friend." Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Nice shout out. Crypto Thundercat. Peace, brother. How are you doing? G72 saying, I regret I didn't use this patient for my initial investment. I'm now locked in with loss of XRP at over $1 average. I'm definitely gonna sell percentage of my bag on the way up to $9 to $10 though. G72, I'm still thinking of how I'm gonna exit XRP because I do have a lot of XRP in my portfolio, and I like kind of what I will do basically, right? I don't know if you should do it, but what I'll be doing, I'll be taking profits way before $9 to $10. I'll be taking profits in that area also, but I also have a trailing take profit, so I might never get to that zone. And that goes for every single coin out there. The point I'm trying to make is I'm going to be taking profits before that. If I'm going to be doing before that, probably a lot of other people are going to be taking profits before that. And probably that's also therefore something you should think about, you know. Gerald Van der Gridgen is saying, "Hey Rob, will you be here for us patrons after the coming bull cycle?" I don't know, my friend. I've been asked that question before. I don't know because I really like. I'm already semi-retired. I mean, in the sense that, like, if I stayed frugal and lived another 70 years, I'd probably never have to work another day in my life. But for example, if this cycle gives me what I hope for it to give, more or less, I can retire and live a luxury life for the rest of my life and do other things. I do have other plans, other ambitions. So I don't know, my friend. I guess we'll see. We'll see, my friend. But I do promise, and I will make sure that uh, even if I decide to go, I'm going to go in a way that every single patient member has seen the journey through from A to Z, basically, of this cycle. Alexandra Hell is saying, I'm all in XRP. I honestly believe it will move, just not sure when. It's in my loins. Brother, that's, again, mathematically speaking, historically speaking, when you look at what crypto has done and what speculative markets have done, all I can say is that being all in one coin, no matter how good it is not a good idea. It's very risky. You might get lucky, and the probabilities of that are very low. So I would personally, if I were you, I would diversify into other coins, blue chips, mid caps, small caps, and I'd really mix it up. I have, like I said, I'm invested in XRP. I have a lot of XRP. I'm invested into Ethereum, Bitcoin, and many other coins. And my point is just like very often, when we start fanning and concentrating on one coin, that might be like the very coin that destroys us, basically. CryptoCard is saying, why no NFTs? Not that I was ever interested. Seemed like a scam to me. My friend, there are coins in a $99 tier which are the so-called 50 to 100x coins that are NFT related. So basically, that's also a narrative that I've diversified into, you could say, with tiny, tiny amounts of money. Um, so yeah, I really try to cover all all narratives out there. AI, privacy, gaming, NFT, utility with different use cases, coins, meme coins. I really try to really get into everything. Digital Citizen saying, "Good morning, Rob. Just got on the live. It's Chris Dinoff. This is my new handle. Hope also. Oh, Chris, hello there, my friend. Why did you change your name to Digital Citizen? But good to see you here, Chris. All right, my friends. It's been 30 minutes. I thought I would do this live, while my little girl was napping. It's been really, really nice as always to catch up with you. Please kind of put a like while you're here. And yeah, remember, stick to the plan, my friends. No matter what happens, do not panic. If you're a patient member, you ever have any questions, especially let's say if we have a crash, for example, you have any questions, get to me, DM me. Don't do anything emotional. Don't do anything that's not part of the plan. Just, be in control of the situation and follow the plan, my friends. Um, Gabanito, brother, see you later. It's been good catching up with you. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much, and bye bye.